It's me, Coach Muddle, and Billy MIA again. We know. Uh, and so it's, let's see. A lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. Huge. You know. The damn Philadelphia Eagle Nation hitting the panic button already. So I'm sure we will get into that uh, and a bunch of other stuff. I mean, you know, and the Giants. It's not a trap game. I mean, come on. You know, I mean, I don't know where we come across these things, but it is it's crazy. Okay, crazy, and we'll see how it all plays out today. I don't know. I got this new mic, so I don't know if I'm close enough because it's is it there? What's going on with it? So we'll see. Your feedback. Let me know if it's working or not, and we'll go from there. I'm trying to do two things at once, and I can't do it. So just give me a second. Uh, anyway, uh, you know, oh man, a little partly cloudy today. So let's see. Yo, what's up, Professor? Thanks, Professor. I appreciate you. The new mic is given by the professor. It'd probably help if I put my headset on too. So yes, I know. I'm just partly cloudy. That's what the problem is, man. I'm and yeah, because I can't do two things at once, three things. So I'm lucky I get to do one thing at once. Let's just put it that way. Let's call it what it is, and we'll go from there. Look, Beans, shout out your Alabama Tide rolled against the Little Sisters of the Poor yesterday. So I wanted to make sure that I get that in for you. But some crazy college football stuff yesterday. I mean, Tennessee. Did you forget you had a game yesterday? Man, how about that? South Kakalaki putting themselves on the map. And, and the Horned Frogs. That is the essence of there's a team that practices special teams. When it comes down to it, running clock, 16 seconds. Well, there's more like 20 some odd seconds left, and you run the football. No, you can't stop the clock, and you run that field goal unit on there and kick the field goal with no time left. That's it, man. Oh man, look, Jeff Saturday. All right, man. Uh, look, I believe that there is every team can use my services. And it's great. And in the off season, there's a lot of head football coaches that want my services, but when it comes right down to it, that's the first thing that gets cut out of the practice plan when it comes to it. So, it is what it is with it. But look, Jeff Saturday is, the guy played in the league. It's not like he got a guy like me off the street or something. I mean, the guy did play in the league. But also, you know, there's got to be a little bit of resentment in the room with some guys that, have made their bones coaching in, and even guys that played in the league that, worked their way up up the ladder. Yes. Oh yeah, Sammy, I was waiting for you, brother. I was waiting for you, man. Yeah, how about that? Look, the Redskins had a script. They came in with a game plan and they followed the plan. They stuck to it, and that was chew up chunks of time. And that's what they did. Now, Sammy, you may be right. I think but Washington controls their own destiny. I think that because of the kind of slow start you guys got, it's gonna take some uh you know it's gonna take a little bit of help to get them in. Look, bro, uh, you know, once you leave your house, uh, I believe that your wife and your boy believe that you're a uh, handsome young gentleman, but after that, you're just a dude. No, I'm just messing with you, Sammy. But uh yep, because he got that buddy. I agree. I agree. But no, they had a great game plan. They went in there and they you know, chunk time, and the problem with that is that old, I come on, it's like being that crackhead. You've been sober for a while, and then you fall off the wagon. Well, it's kind of like that with the Eagles. With okay, we're running the football, we're playing a balance, we're being very balanced, and then all of a sudden, Washington comes in and takes up all this time, and now all of a sudden, oh, we got to abandon the running game. We got to abandon it. We got to throw the football. Oh my God. Well, that's not who you are. You got a great quarterback who, by the way, I believe it was this handsome old guy that was talking the Eagle fandom part of this show off the ledge every time this happened with the Eagles, right? Because Jalen Hurts is awesome when you play complementary football. And when he can't, and you force him to throw the football 50, 60 times, that's a recipe for an L. Plain and simple. Because look at the score. The score indicated that you could still play your football game. You did not have to get out of your game plan as the Eagles. You didn't have to get out of your game plan. Yeah, I honestly I don't think that's, they brought in now Lendell Joseph. He's bounced around. I really would have liked him. He was really coming into his own with the Giants. I hated to see him get not re-signed, and he's kind of bounced around. And Sue is come on, he's old, and he's just trying to get another ring, but I don't think it helps. I don't think it helps. I mean, it's a body. It's a big body. It's going to take up space with that. But I think yeah. Hey, look. Hey, everybody, Sammy. Everybody's an all pro against air. Okay, every single person that plays football is an all pro against air. It doesn't matter at every single level. Everybody's an all pro at against air. So it doesn't. So it doesn't. It doesn't really. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. I think it will. Where I think it helps the Eagles, though, I think it helps in the rotation, giving guys some breathers so they're not out of gas. Because what's Sue going to get? 10, maybe 12 snaps a game. I mean, but at least it gives somebody a breather for that. So, it's all right. It doesn't really cost the Eagles much, and they can go on. Yeah. Hey, yeah, Sammy, congrats, man. Hey, look, the only problem I have is the Delaware playoff system. Everybody gets a trophy. I don't believe that a 4-6 team should be in the playoffs. And unfortunately for you guys, I mean, you had to play the same team 2 weeks in a row. It's kind of a bad deal, bad situation with that. But hey, been a little bit since those guys got that many wins, so it's good for the program. And you're right, getting that ship right in the ship, as they say, getting that ship right. So there you go, and of course, shout out to Port Charlotte. The Pirates came up a little short Friday night, but man, great season. Had to overcome a ton. And nothing to have their heads hanging for any part of that, man. It was phenomenal journey for those guys. And unfortunately it came up a little bit short. But hey, relax, enjoy the holidays, and then they'll get back to the grind. I know them coaches down there, they'll be getting in it here real soon. So back to it anyway. So look, it's a it's a good deal. So look, we get to we get down to it. You saw the formula against the Eagles, and I think you also saw the formula against the Cowboys too, because they couldn't stop the run. I mean, it was like someone just turned on a faucet, and they couldn't figure out how to turn the knob. And so you have that because look, you have Dallas and the Giants on Thanksgiving, 4:00. You know where I'll be, in front of the TV, watching that game, big time. And it's a big game. I mean, I think it's a big game today for both those teams. I mean, you have, I think Dallas plays the Vikings at the 4:00 game. I mean, the other game is what? The Raiders and the Broncos. And let me see. I had it here. I had it up. So let me see. It was uh and I hate when it does that. When you just why can't it just stay the way it was? Yeah. The Raiders, Broncos, Bengals, Steelers, Cowboys, Vikings are the late games today. And then obviously Chargers, Chiefs are tonight. I mean, really, I mean, unless you're a Bengals Steeler fan, you're watching that game because I mean uh, and unless you're a Raider or a Bronco fan, I know Raider Nation out there appreciate you guys, but man, I mean, something's going on, something's wrong there. I mean, you know, uh, so the 4 o'clock game, all eyes on Dallas. I mean, Dallas goes into Thanksgiving losing 2 games in a row. That they're Jerry Jones is going to be going crazy, man. Keith, I agree with that. How does here's the problem though, and people don't talk about this is Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, is as crazy as a loon. All right, that dude's nuts, and because he's not in a big market, and it's not as prevalent. But he fired Carson Wentz. He fired, and he's gone crazy, and uh, so you know that is the problem there, and yes, I agree 100% with that. I mean, I 100%, and I think the problem is, you're just seeing how much, and I know everybody wants to hate when I say this, is how much Bill Belichick is involved in everything that goes on. You know, um, because look, the offense and uh I believe the Raiders have a top 10 running back in Josh Jacobs. They had one of the best offensive lines in the league. They have one of the best pass catching tight ends in the league. And you had that intermediate Renfro, which is kind of like that Cooper Kupp type guy, and you give him a deep threat weapon who he played with in college in Devontae Adams. I don't understand, and I know the offensive line has struggled. They've kind of, they got rid of some guys and but the easiest thing, and I don't care what level you're at, is teaching run blocking, and getting those guys to run block. So you're just getting them so run the football. I don't understand. Run the football, and and I watch these teams that are, you're having trouble, and maybe you don't know that your offensive line isn't that good. Maybe you're not watching the film to see how bad they are. So why are you taking these 5-7 step drops with your quarterback and trying to wait for guys to get open? Short crossing routes, quick in and out, get the ball out, short plays, let them make the plays and go down the field. And I think if more teams did that, they would have a little more success. And then the problem with the Raiders is just that, that offense. I don't understand. You're trying to, I think you're trying to plug all the holes at once instead of just fix one problem at a time. And that's what I believe the problem is with the Raiders. And look, next coaching cycle, if Frank Wright will probably be a head coach, or he will be at least an offensive coordinator somewhere. Because I tell you what, and a guy like Frank is, if you're a defensive guy that gets a head coaching job, that's the guy you hire, and you just let him take over the offense, and you can kind of do your own, and kind of focus on the defense and make that defense kind of, yours. And I think, and I'll point this out. I think the Jets, they brought in Robert Saleh from the 49ers, their defensive coordinator. And I think when he got to the Jets, I think he tried to do too much. And now I think he's just finally gotten to, okay, I'm just going to fix the defense and let the offense be the offense, and just let it go. And I think you're seeing the Jets play really good defense right now. And, their offense is, maybe Zach Wilson isn't the guy, but hey, he's kind of he's backed off a little bit and just letting him. I mean, obviously you got a young OC up there in New York, but he's letting it play out. And I think that is having some success. And I think the same with, I can't not bring my Giants into the mix, and Brian Daboll is letting the coordinators coordinate. And he's just kind of being the head coach, kind of, and now I'm sure he's more on the offensive side and saying that, so, and there, hey, that's it. That Sammy, that's an awesome stat, buddy. That's an awesome stat, dude. Way to be. Absolutely building blocks, man. Yeah, the Giants are getting that old, look, I don't know what they're paying Wink Martindale. It's obviously it's not enough, because look, the Giants have a lot of holes to fill. And I think if you look at that defense, who's the middle linebacker? I mean, you got was it Jalen Smith? You signed him last year off the street, and you brought him back in to play middle linebacker. He's really not a middle linebacker, but you're kind of making do. Right, and right now that defensive front is kind of playing some good football, which is helping out that young secondary, and he's kind of taken chicken shit and made chicken salad out of it. So it's yeah, and that's right. That's absolutely that's absolutely right. It is. They go in knowing that the defense is going to keep them close, and I think that's all you can ask for is, hey, keep us within striking distance. Keep us from in striking distance, and that is and that's something that we can. We can work on, because you always have a chance at that point. Everybody's got a puncher's chance. So, So that's the way I look at it. He's doing a great job. I think you pay the guy to keep him and just make him the guy there for as long as and hopefully Dable, those guys will stay there for a while, and we can start righting that ship and getting them back to the winning ways that we're used to in New York football. So let's get we're I'm excited about that. So we'll see where it goes. I mean, that D line is coming along, and we'll go. Because look, Wink Martindale, he's going to be blitzing you from everywhere, and it's going to be fun to watch today because now the Detroit Lions, their record doesn't say it, but they could put up some points. They put up some points, and they have to uh and the Giants honestly think the most points they've scored this season is 27, I think, in London. Other than that, they've not scored more than 24, which was last week, I think. So, hey, it's going to be one of those things, and I know part of that scoring the points in Detroit is a tough. Detroit they're always down, so they're throwing the ball a lot. Uh, but they can still move the football, and it'll be interesting to see today how they do it. And look, and let me touch on this too, because look, Green Bay is not Green Bay. All right, they gotta, they exposed Dallas, but look, they're uh, they're a long way off. No, I don't think he's in I don't think he's in any trouble over there now Aaron Glenn might be the defensive coordinator, might be in a little trouble. But you're absolutely right, man. He is changing the culture there, and they're gonna go. Sammy, I don't think he can. I mean, you know, and Aaron's not he's not really. I don't know. Just on the interviews, I just get that as he's really just not and maybe it's just Green Bay and the way he was treated because I mean, they didn't have the balls to get rid of Brett Favre when they come on, what was that, like 4 or 5 years that every year you're the guy this year, and then Brett Favre's coming back, have a seat, so and now he's taking advantage. I think he's taking advantage of their weak spot and making them pay for it, paying him. So I don't think any other team is going to pay him the money. But you might be right. He might take a pay cut and go to Seattle. But why would Seattle want Aaron Rodgers when all of a sudden Geno Smith is playing like a Pro Bowl quarterback? I mean, he's one of the highest rated quarterbacks right now. Right. Hey, you look, Sammy, you saw that in Baltimore. Remember when Flacco won the Super Bowl? They said, here's a blank check, you fill it out. He took all the money. I mean, look, and Professor will tell you the Ravens could have probably won, multiple Super Bowls had Joe Flacco not taking all the money. And that's what happens. He's taking all the money. And they've decided that it's not and part of that, and unfortunately the casualty to that is the current quarterback in Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, because they're not going to pay him all the money so that they could put some playmakers around him. It's pretty that's pretty simple. So, but Aaron is and maybe he will take less money and go somewhere else and play, and maybe uh you know but we'll see. I don't know if that'll be the case or not. I don't I don't see it. I just think he's gonna just milk this cow dry and move on, uh but yeah, I just don't I don't see I just don't see it. And I want to make I did want to say something else about something, and I forgot all about it. So but you're right, man, because of what that deal, yep, including losing two more good, yep, you're right. Yes. Yeah, you're right, Keith. Yeah, but I don't think just that, but it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a bunch of other teams as well. Unfortunately, that's what's gonna happen. It's uh, uh, I think it just upset the entire quarterback market, so to speak. So not not having because the Browns, and that's what happens when you are desperate for a quarterback. You kind of just, you'll back up the Brinks truck and do it. I mean, off the field issues aside, Deshaun Watson is one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Let's face it, and let's see what happens when he has an actual legit running game and offensive line there. I mean, and some pieces to throw to. I think it'll be kind of interesting, because I think, can he play this week, or is it next week he can play? But I'm sure a lot of people will be watching that game and see. You know, um, but yeah, and I just don't. But a lot of teams, there's going to be a lot of quarterback shuffle going on in the league, and uh, just to go from there. Because look, and I said this all along, that Baker Mayfield wasn't a starting quarterback in the league, and you're seeing that right now. Yeah. Yeah, you got to keep your towel regulation level. You're supposed, yeah, but you know what, Keith, he doesn't know the difference between what's called a hand towel and a bath towel. I've learned this. And I'm sure you have. Your wife has made you aware of the difference, and unfortunately, he does not know the difference between what's a hand towel and a bath towel. So he's just been using those uh, hand towels instead of the bath towel. That's what it is, I mean, so kind of kind of fun. But yeah, and it'll be interesting because I'm gonna check him out and see how the rust has gone with him and how it's and how rusty. But I think what the Browns just do is this is just game experience with him and get ready for next year. And let me tell you, I think next year the Browns are going to be a force to reckon with next year. I think, um, you know, um, and especially the way that whole uh, division is kind of flip floppy, and whatnot. Let's put that up for everyone to see because, yeah, but, you know, uh, that is, that's a good one. But, you know, hey, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I think this is just kind of him getting used to because what we'll have like what 6, 7 games to try to get himself familiar with the guys, and who knows, they might be able to squeak an extra game in there and sneak into the playoffs. Doubt it, but because the AFC East is looking pretty good with the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins, and still can't count out the New England Patriots, and that big game in Foxborough today. Let me tell you that's huge. Because unfortunately, uh, the last time 2 weeks ago when the Jets and the Patriots played, oh, this is a revenge game for the Jets, revenge game, blah blah blah, and then they got their ass handed to them. But the Jets have a unique opportunity. They win this game, they're in first place because of what happened with Buffalo, and you lose this game, you're in last place. So go figure that. That's you're either first or last. Uh, you know, so that's what it is. Second just means you're the first loser. I mean, and you got to go from there. It's going to be a big. That's a big game, and then and I think this is a. Buffalo is getting kind of a. Does anybody know? Did they actually get out of Buffalo because they forgot to friggin' leave before the snowstorm? Dumbass. Who's the travel secretary? Where's George Costanza? Did he get hired by the Bills or something? Is that what happened? The assistant to the assistant travel secretary. I mean, is that who's handling the Buffalo getting out of town? Because they had all that snow falling and Buffalo hadn't left yet. But now, I mean, this is pretty works out. I mean, Buffalo should have had their bags packed and been in Detroit on Thursday. It would have been there for a whole week. You get to play 2 games there because you're playing on Thursday Thanksgiving, and so I don't know what they were thinking, and they get a little bit of an advantage by being able to stay there and only traveling once for those games. So I think I think that's it's a plus for them. So we'll see how that all works out, and we're gonna go from there. Man, so listen. I got some issues going on here that I need to take care of, so I'm going to cut out a little early today. So I appreciate everyone checking me out. Please make sure you share it with your friends, and I'll be back next week. Hopefully, Billy can figure out his watch and calendar, and I'll have to coach him up this week. And we'll see everyone. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. And have a safe and happy holiday with whatever you're doing. Safe travels, and we'll see everybody next Sunday. All right, everyone, have a great one. Be good.